Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd. I am a nutrition entrepreneur, but here's the catch. I have a full-time traditional dietitian job. My entrepreneurial endeavors are my side hustle. I have been making six figures through my job and side hustle, doing things that I love. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello, and welcome to the 22nd episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, a new entrepreneur's journey. Today, I will be interviewing Kourtney Johnson. Kourtney is the founder of Intuitively Nourished RD. She works part-time as a clinical dietitian and has just started her private practice. Kourtney and I have been working together through coaching for the past 4 months. She's a brand new entrepreneur, and she's here to share her story. Welcome, Kourtney. Would you like to share a few words before we get started?
Thanks for having me to start off with. And I'm just so excited to be here.
Awesome. So let's dive into it. My first question for you is, what inspired you to start your private practice?
So back in April, my hours at the hospital were cut in half due to COVID, and I had all this time on my hands, and I knew from the time I was in my internship that I wanted a business at some point, but didn't know what I wanted to do or when I wanted to start. I just figured sometime in the next 5 years. And since I had all this time, I figured now was the best time, because when would I ever have all these extra hours in the day? So I just dug in, started listening to podcasts and found a few coaches and just really dove headfirst into my entrepreneurial journey.
Awesome. And for reference, how long have you been a dietitian?
I've been a dietitian for about 1.5 years.
A year and a half. And how long have you kind of been on this journey where you started becoming an entrepreneur?
4 months.
4 months. So just a dietitian for over a year before you decided to make the leap into entrepreneurship. That's awesome. Yep. So question number 2, tell us a little bit more about what you're doing for your private practice and also kind of how you got there. I know you mentioned coaches and I know a little bit of your story, but maybe share for the audience so they can kind of understand, again, the details of what you're doing and how you actually got there.
Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for my business model, how I wanted to help people in particular, if I wanted to do private practice or some other format. But after doing a little bit of research and hearing what other dietitians had to say, I decided on private practice, but specifically intuitive eating. I had considered myself a non-diet dietitian for about 1 year, since I had like a hobby Instagram page and had followed different non-diet dietitians and had heard of intuitive eating, and but wasn't really like fully an intuitive eater. And then this past spring, I picked up the book and the workbook and read them, worked on the activities, and fell in love with intuitive eating and decided that that's what I needed to do for my private practice. So I decided on that. And then from there, I built my program and, worked on getting all the systems in place.
Awesome. So I know that you took a course and you'd mentioned some coaching. Maybe you could tell people a little bit more about that course that you took.
Yeah, so I started my entrepreneurial journey with Tony Stevens' Dietitian Nutrition Certification course. That was really a foundational course about forms you need, how to deal with different clients, just different ways to deal with different scenarios that you might come up upon in private practice. And that was a really good foundation just to get my feet wet in my journey.
Awesome. Yes. And I've heard lots of great things about Tony's course. I've not taken it myself because I don't see patients, but I do listen to Tony's podcast, and he is a wealth of information. And I know he's helped to support a lot of other dietitians who want to get into the nutrition coaching space. So it was fun too, to see your journey going through that course. So I guess my next question would be, what's something that you'd want people to know who are considering starting their own business?
One, you need to have patience, because it's a long game. As Katie has told me, it's a long-term game. It's not short-term. And I like to think of it as being a marathon, not a sprint. There's just a lot that you do as a solopreneur, a lot of different hats you wear. It's a whole new world. You just really need to be open-minded, patient, open to learning new things, and just willing to take the time to really build the life and the business that you want, because I think it'll be so worth it when you have everything set up and are living the life of your dreams.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. So what would you say, so you mentioned all those different hats that you wear. What would you say is something that surprised you the most that you didn't anticipate that you'd be doing as an entrepreneur when you started?
I didn't, for some reason, think of marketing. And that's been my biggest struggle, because we don't learn anything about marketing in school. And so figuring out like where to find clients, how best to reach them, different posts on social media that they respond to, which social media sites they are on, like all of that kind of stuff that we have no idea really how to do, has just been really eye-opening and definitely the biggest struggle for me.
Awesome. So thanks so much for that. But what you said about marketing is so true. I think that's something that dietitians, we come out into this world as a business owner and we think, I'm a dietitian, here I am world, come take my services. But the reality is that you could be the best dietitian in the world, but if you don't know marketing, you're not going to find your clients. Or you could be the best marketer in the world and know nothing about nutrition and, have a lot of success. So
Yes.
yeah, marketing, that is totally key. And as you mentioned, you're a solopreneur, so you're doing all the jobs. You are the marketer, you are the sales department, you are fulfillment, you are all the departments of your own business.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome. So what action items would you recommend for dietitians who want to start a business of their own?
I would say brainstorm as to how you want to have your business. Do you want to do a private practice? Do you want to have courses? Do you want to work with other dietitians? Do you want to work with patients or clients? Like brainstorm all of that, because there are so many avenues that you can go in your business. You can also do multiple things, although I recommend focusing on one thing to start. And then, reach out to other dietitians, join Facebook groups, look on Instagram, TikTok. Those are all places to find other dietitians. And from what I've found, we're all willing to help each other. Like, it's a small community, and I have never had anyone not help me out. So definitely be willing to reach out. People are more than willing to help you with their advice for entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think those are great action items. So brainstorm what you want to do and start networking. I mean, networking is so valuable, and there are so many amazing entrepreneurs, and you could learn from them and where they've been. So this was really, this was a really great interview to learn a little bit more about the perspective of someone who's just starting. I think sometimes when we are starting a side hustle, when we are starting our business, we're looking at people who are at maybe the middle or the end of their journey, and it can be so hard to relate to. So I really appreciate you taking the time to share really what your journey as a new entrepreneur has looked like, and even sharing some of those struggles and that advice from the shoes of someone who's in it right now. I mean, you just launched your program, so you're literally just starting. So thank you so much for being on the podcast. Where can people find you online?
Well, thank you again for having me. This was really fun. So my website is intuitivelynourishedrd.com, and I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Instagram and TikTok are Intuitively Nourished RD, and Twitter is Nourished RD.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And I hope that you all enjoyed this interview, and I will chat with you guys next time. That was so much fun chatting with Kourtney. I love hearing from relatively new dietitians who are just starting to dip their toes into the entrepreneurial world. It is such a fun world, and I know that she is going to do phenomenally well through her business, the Intuitively Nourished RD. So make sure you guys go follow her on social and give her some love. So I also wanted to let you guys know that I recently launched a free mini course. That's right, a free mini course. It's called RD Online Starter Package. So this is a mini course that's going to help you start your side hustle and learn how to make income online without seeing patients, or in addition to. So this is a completely free download. It features 5 video lessons plus a welcome. I've got lots of free downloads, my getting started worksheet, some checklists for getting started with freelance writing, webinars, digital goods, courses. So I'm really excited to offer this free mini course to Dietitian Side Hustle podcast listeners and for those in the Facebook group. So make sure you go over to dietitiansidehustle.com. I have it blasted all over there. At the very top, like in the little menu section, it says free mini course. I've got it. I've got it all throughout there. So anyways, I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that I have a free mini course, and I want you guys to go to the website, snag a copy, start watching it. It's good, but it's not too long, so you could definitely tackle it in a week. And yeah, reach out, let me know what you guys think, and I hope that this mini course really gets you kind of kick-started to start your side hustle, because I know that's what you guys want to do. So anyways, thanks so much for listening to the podcast, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.